Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Codex After Dark. My name is Tim. Down below is Tone Supa, the sci-fi swordsman. And joining us today is not Jamie, but the wonderful and beautiful Sal Rowe. Sal, how you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. Thank you for having me on again.
Oh, dude, it is always a pleasure to bring you on when Jamie goes and sits in a beer tent at a carnival and listens to a concert.
Are we sure that's what he's doing?
That's what he told me. Now, what he said and what he's doing are two very different things. So,
or just say, you never know. Jamie could be under the stage right now, right? We wouldn't know. He could be swimming in music or swimming in beer or some strange combination of both.
I'll take the latter. I bet that's what's happening right now.
You've earned it, Jamie. Relax, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a good one at the concert, buddy.
Before we get started, Sal, you have a YouTube channel. Why don't you go ahead and tell people about that?
I do. The YouTube channel is called Sal's Comic Corner. And what I'm doing on my comic corner is I'm showing off my slabs and my slab wall. And I actually have a video out there right now that shows you how and what pieces I use to create the wall, and any tips or tricks that I use in building it as well. I have another video out there that shows you how to check out a book if you're looking to send it off for grading, checking it for major defects and stuff like that. So I went out to my LCS. I bought a couple of dollar book issues, destroyed them in a certain way so that you could see it as I flipped through it. And then I showed you how to prep a book to send off to either a facilitator, or if you're sending it off to get it signed. CGC and also CBCS offer signing, in-house signings type situation. So I show you how to prep a book, create a little signature window for your book, and also what information you might need to send off with it.
Right on. Nice. And Sal, what's the name of your channel one more time for people that want to go check it out?
Sure. It's called Sal's Comic Corner.
Okay, fantastic. Guys, if you are watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description of the video. And I am about to pop it into the chat here on Twitch right now.
And feel free to ask me any questions. In the future, I want to actually show you how to crack open a slab if you ever wanted to crack one open.
Right on. There you go.
And some other stuff like that. So if you got things you want to see about slabs or ask questions about slabs, hit me up in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, I think it is time to do the weeklies. Tone, why don't you go ahead and take that away?
Well, let's jump into it. Let me change to my second camera because it tends to show them a little bit better, right?
I've been waiting. Mr. Professional.
To do this.
I love it.
So,
Tone, I'm jealous.
It's just I think I have the world's oldest Mac, right? Its camera is not HD. The onboard camera is not HD. It's not 1080p. It's not 4K. It's be happy you got a camera, and so I have to use the outboard camera. And so what the first pulls I have for this week are Pearl. I don't know if anyone's familiar with this comic.
I'm not.
It's by Dark Horse. Now, DC, I believe it was, did have this for a while, and I guess they sold the property to Pearl. It chronicles a young lady who gets tattoos done, and she ends up being a Yakuza hit woman, right? And so the original version of Pearl, the original series, and I think it went to 10 issues. It was with DC. They had a series of books there that were really interesting. And now Dark Horse has it. And so I picked up issue 1.
So is it an ongoing or is it a mini?
It's an ongoing.
Nice.
And so I'll be following this. I found it very gritty. And she was very relatable as a protagonist that gets kind of pulled in to be this Yakuza hit woman. From her childhood, she knows what she's been exposed to, and you're kind of learning what she's been exposed to as this life that she's used to, and you don't know she's used to, is pulling her back in. That was the original series. It's going to be curious to see where this one goes.
Who's the writer on that?
The writer for this book is you shall know, Brian Michael Bendis, right? Right.
Wonderful.
The worst for Bendis is when he started Superman, and they had the whole Bendis is coming, and I'm like, ew. right? This book's for the kids, DC. Get that out of there.
Slow down.
And so I picked up also the all new Firefly #1.
Ooh, from Boom.
Yes.
Look at that.
And also they're on issue 5 now. And so I had to get the I didn't want to just start off with issue 5. So I picked up 3 and 4, and my comic shop got me issues 1 and 2.
That's
right?
Wonderful.
I was a huge fan of the series and the movie Serenity. And so this is and then there's the comic book Firefly, and then this is the all new Firefly. So I saw it, I had to grab it, right?
The greatest one season show to ever hit television.
One season, I say thee nay. So this week's books, I picked up the DC versus Vampires Killers. Right?
Ooh, love that. Harley Quinn.
That's a nice cover. I like that.
And this is a one shot that focuses on Harley's role with what's going on in DC versus Vampires. And it really, I'm not a big Harley fan. Not that I dislike her as a character. She's not my thing.
Yeah.
And I like the direction they moved her in, though. They fleshed her out. They're putting more and more meat on the bones. And I would say that this book really single-handedly has made me revisit my like of the my approach to the Harley character. I love that book. Yeah.
Okay.
And not just kind of the crazy, goofy sidekick who gets violent occasionally. They put a lot more. They keep the Harley fun theme going, but this book really emphasizes there's a lot more to her than just that. And wonderful. She may be humanity's last hope, not any of the other heroes here.
Okay, right on.
So as always, I pick up Department of Truth, right?
How is that going strong still?
Oh, yes, it is. Department of Truth number 19.
Dude.
And I gotta tell you, if you love dark writing, edgy writing, weird concepts that are really outside of the box, mixed in with politics, Department of Truth is for you. This would be like if the CIA and the Secret Society met with Doctor Strange, and then they all had a conference with Pinhead and the Segobites.
Wow.
Yeah, this book is outstanding and weird. I normally end up reading it 2 or 3 times just to figure out what's going on.
Wow.
What issue number is that one?
That is issue number 19.
Okay.
Next book for the week, image book, 8 Billion Genies, #2.
Yes, dude, I fell in love with the first issue after you were talking about it a month ago, and I can't find it at my comic shop.
Yeah. Oh, I got to tell you, I love it. And
I'm more excited about that than I probably should be, but.
And so the fundamental premise of 8 Billion Genies, it's just like it sounds. 8 billion genies suddenly appear, one for every person on the planet. And they tell every single person on the planet, you get one wish. That's it. And from that point on, utter chaos ensues, right? As you can imagine. And the events take place in a bar where the bartender was smart enough, and there's more to this bartender, but they haven't revealed what it is yet. But he's smart enough to immediately make his wish, which is, I wish that nothing on the inside or outside of this bar will be impacted by wishes on the outside of this bar, right? And so it's the last place in the world that wishes can affect.
I loved that first issue. I loved it.
This book gives a little bit more insight into the rules that the genies have actually laid out. And so just as fun. So this book came out a little bit late. It's supposed to be here 3 weeks ago. So issue number 3 is supposed to drop next week. We'll see if it drops since this one was late.
Okay.
Hopefully, great respect for writer John Soule and artist Ryan Brown.
The artwork in that is.
Yeah. And it's not the big superhero artwork for those out there. It's not meant to be, right? And so Ryan Brown does a great job with the craziness that goes around and the detail it takes to draw that. But I can't wait for issue number 3 on that.
And that's an 8-issue series, right?
I'm not quite sure of how many issues it is, but I will be collecting the entire thing.
Oh yeah.
I picked up.
Let me just say right here, I every time you go through books, I write down the titles and I go and I check them out next time I hit my LCS. I swear, I do it.
I'm just saying, I love this stuff, and you know, the big superhero stuff has always scratched my itch. I love it, but as I've gotten older, I love seeing the off the beaten trail stories. I really do.
Those are some of the best.
And Image does that great. If you don't want to just see heroes in tights smacking each other around, you should really check out Image and Dark Horse and Aftershock, some of these other comic companies where the guys that are the mainstream writers get to break away from that and do the other things they've always wanted to do.
High fantasy, high science fiction, heavy horror, drama, romance. Wait, if you like it, it's there.
Now, I picked up also Iron Cat #1.
Oh, look at that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Now, I'm here to tell people that's this is Iron Cat. Needless to say, that's Felicia Hardy in Iron Man, Black Cat and Iron Man. You notice there's a suit of armor. Now, Jim McKay is the writer for this book. He was the writer for Black Cat when Black Cat was running. Jed McKay has been red hot the past few years with Marvel. He's kind of got the Midas touch. Everything he's touching is turning to gold. And he's consistently putting out A++ product. And so Iron Cat, kind of the events that took place in Black Cat series, which is now over, lead into Iron Cat. And in one of those capers, one of those events, Tony Stark built Felicia Hardy a suit of armor. And someone from Felicia's past has taken that suit of armor. Of course, since he built it for Black Cat, the suit of armor is modeled after Cat, and it's meant to help her ability. She's a thief. She's a high-end thief. And so it's meant to help those abilities. But the suit's been modified, and now the wearer is coming after Felicia. Why? You should read the book, and then you'll know, right? Then, of course, I picked up Sabretooth #4. This is the cover B, right?
That's a nice cover.
Now, that's been in your pulls the past, like, since issue 1, right?
Yeah, it has been. Now, to be fair, everyone sees Logan on a cover and they buy the book. Logan is not in this book, right?
Wow. Hence the B cover.
Yeah. And so it was just a cool image on the cover of Sabretooth and Logan fighting.
Yeah.
So I got the cover B.
Classic costumes too.
Yeah. As far as the story goes, I'm interested to see where it goes, but it's not 100% for me anymore.
Okay.
And
because I know before you were pretty hot on the book, at least on issue 2, right?
Yeah. And so it's in the end, they're trying to add more complexity to Sabretooth as a villain, and I think it's working. But I think it serves more as a mechanism to show challenges with the things that are going on in the X-Men, on the mutant island of Krakoa and the greater X-Men stories. And so in this particular book, for anyone who doesn't know, we're on issue 4. Sabretooth, the mutants have their own island. It's their own nation recognized by the world. And there are 3 laws they have. And one of those laws is that a mutant should kill no man. Well, Sabretooth goes on a mission with them. And during that mission, he kills someone. And so the council that runs Krakoa, the Mutant Council, Professor X, Magneto, the White Queen, so on and so forth, Storm, Nightcrawler, they sentence him, but they don't want to murder their own people. So they imprison him inside of the island of Krakoa in a stasis. And he's meant to be there kind of catatonic until they determine his time in jail is over. What they don't know is that his consciousness, he's learned to roam the island in his consciousness, and he's beginning to influence things. And when other people break the laws and get put into that stasis, he's kind of pulling them into his own world where he can do what he wants, right? Where he does what he wants to them. But is he torturing them, right? Is that what Sabretooth is doing? And so very interesting premise to a story. And it shows Sabretooth as a character is far more intellectual than anyone ever gave him credit for. Well,
so would you count this as more less of an action book and more of a drama piece, or?
And that's where, honestly, that's where it's falling flat for me. It's not an action book at all.
Okay.
But it's also not a drama piece. And the book seems to be used as a mechanism not to be the merits of Sabretooth while they are establishing that, but to show the flawed approach to the legal system on Krakoa.
Okay.
And when this book ends, right? The characters that are involved with it, I don't know how it's going to go or whether it's going to go here, but the real takeaway is going to be the Quiet Council that's running Krakoa is not necessarily doing a great job here, and it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. That's really more of the takeaway of the book than what's happening with Sabretooth. He's a mechanism for that. That's how it's reading to me.
Okay.
And so while I'm going to close it out, I think it ends at issue 5 or 6. I'm going to buy it or I'm going to close it out. It's definitely kind of dropped from being an A book to me to a C book to me.
Okay. So it's not leading up. It's not living up to maybe so much the expectations that the book delivered within the first 2 issues, and it's just kind of starting to bottom out then.
Yeah. That's
right on.
what I think right now.
Okay.
But you feel like the implications of this book are going to like have ripple effects all across the whole X universe.
I absolutely do. Do.
Okay.
And then, of course, continue the X-Men trend. X-Men Red. X-Men Red is my book of the week.
Is that Sunspot?
That Sunspot being reborn through Krakoa's rebirth process, right? He was killed in the last issue, but he was killed. He was killed in Araco, which is on Mars.
What issue number is that again?
That's number 4. Okay. And I think X-Men Red is the I think the peak X-Men book right now. This book is hitting on all cylinders. It's absolutely outstanding, balanced, well-paced. And there's an event here in this book between Storm. Storm gets a lot of love in X-Men Red. She basically runs X-Men Red, the Red Planet, and it follows Storm. For those who don't know, in the X-Men universe, the mutants have revitalized Mars as a planet. They gave it an atmosphere. They gave it a core. They had a core. They reignited the core, made it start spinning, built an environment, and claimed it as their own. And so,
wow.
And it's like, this is the mutant planet we will have. And Storm runs that planet as its queen. It's and of course, there's just events in there that are outstanding. I highly recommend X-Men Red as a read. My last book this week, this is the variant cover. The Hellfire Gala cover is Avengers number 57.
I saw that at my shop today. Who is that? Captain America?
Yeah, that's Captain America dressed to go to the Hellfire Gala, right? And so now I don't really read the Hellfire Gala stuff, the Met Gala. That's what it's meant to be, the mutants version of a Met Gala. And so they all get sexy new outfits to go dressed up for an evening in a gala style event. That's not really for me as a reader. Okay. But some of the costume designs or outfit designs for their evening out at the gala are cool. And so when I saw this Captain America, it did really strike me. Hey, Steve going out for an evening.
Pinstripes,
right? A pinstripe suit, but notice he's still wearing his boots, which is so Steve. He's got on his tie, he's got on the 3-piece with the little chain on it, and the shield is there. And I just thought it was perfect. As far as the story inside, outstanding.
Okay, right on.
And the story inside has nothing to do with Steve at the Met Gala at all. It follows the Soldier Supreme. Right, where in another multiverse, a soldier ends up with the Eye of Agamotto, and I would highly recommend. It's out of everything. A lot of people don't like the Jason Aaron run. I'm not a big fan of the Jason Aaron run. I love Jason Aaron as a writer.
Good thing Jamie's not here. He'd be having words with you.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of interesting concepts that Jason Aaron is laying down. He's definitely shaking things up. He's picked up the pace of the book. Big things are happening. I prefer him on Thor. I don't think this is bad, but it doesn't scratch all of my itches, and some of them I just think are overdone. But I would say that this book with the Soldier Supreme makes me want to see a Soldier Supreme series. What does a super soldier do fighting the Nazis when the Nazis are into the occult, and he's also the Sorcerer Supreme, right? Right. And so and those are my comics. The last 2 things I wanted to show everyone were some books that I picked up. And these books were I picked them up from Barnes and Noble. They were on sale. And notice DC variant covers.
God almighty. The
And this is
complete
just
visual history.
Yeah, this is literally just a collection of variant covers from DC Comics
Wow.
across the years, right? That's all this book is.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so, and then of course, the same thing for Marvel, the variant covers.
That's
Right.
wonderful.
And just great Marvel, different variant covers that Marvel has had across the years.
We were talking about homages yesterday, and what's that cover an homage of?
Yeah, let's see. Let me take a look at it.
About
This
5,000 other copies.
But I mean, the main part, it's Amazing Fantasy 15.
15.
Oh,
Yep,
you're
it
talking
is.
about that. You're talking about that cover. I thought it was the
Yep.
cover you saw in here. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't see
no, the
homages.
cover of the book.
Yeah, the cover of the book. Yeah, Amazing Fantasy number 15. That cover is an homage to the original, the first appearance of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 15, the kickoff really to Marvel Comics.
That's
right. And so, as you can see, that's this one of the superior Iron Man covers in there. So this is just a collection. When we talk variant covers, a book will come out, as you saw with this Steve Rogers. This is not the cover A. This is not the first cover to the comic. This is the cover B or C. But they may have multiple covers to a comic, and some of them are rarer than others. And some people pay more money for them. Yeah. But for me, I fish for them for the art, because sometimes the art on these can be outstanding. They'll look at it and say, well, we've got 5 pieces of art that all fit or are awesome. Let's use them all on the cover of a freaking comic. And you don't always get the money to get them all. Right. Yep. Am I going to buy all 5 issues of the same five issues of the same comic just to get all 5 covers? Sal says yes. Right.
Hide your slabs, hide your knives.
Right. Sal says yes. Sometimes it hits the wallet too much. And so getting anthologies like these where they just pack them all in, you still get to see them. So those were my purchases for the week.
Okay. And one more time, Tone, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week, bar none, and it's a big thing to beat 8 Billion Genies, which I utterly love, is still X-Men Red.
That's amazing. Right. So there it is, guys. Tone's pick of the week, X-Men Red number 4. It is in the chat right now, so write that down.
So did you know that you can actually identify the variant cover by the barcode?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I only know that because 2 or 3 months ago, they showed it to me in my comic shop.
Okay.
Because I'm always looking at it, and I look at Tyler. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Di? And I'm kind of like, is this the cover A? Tyler knows I'm a cover A kind of guy. If I have a default cover A, and then I gravitate to B's, C's, or D's if they're available. He's like, you can look at the book and tell, right? I know, I didn't know that at all. Can you show me? Right. So
right here, actually.
I'm going to switch back to got my onboard camera now.
Well, right on. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the middle of this, Sal, before you show off some coolness. And I have got a stack of stuff that I'm going to breeze through. Now, I was out last week, and it was just Jamie and Tone. So I've got stuff that I picked up at the comic shop last week, plus what I picked up a couple of days ago. And I went to a secondhand store today in Knoxville, Tennessee with my nephew and my buddy Nick, who's in the chat right now. Hey, dude, how's it going? And we had a whole day's worth of adventure for comic books, and it was an absolutely wonderful day. My nephew got some super cool stuff. He's sitting over here watching us on Twitch right now, but he got some super cool stuff, and we went over that in the off camera, and I showed you guys what he got. But I'm going to show you what I got today. So first, we're going to start with what I got at a shop called McKay's in Knoxville. And I am working on this series. I've got the majority of it, but I don't have it all. So this is Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5, the one previous to what's on now. So Amazing Spider-Man number 33.
Nice.
With that beautiful 2099 cover.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. I picked this up on cover alone I don't have but one Silver Surfer issue, and I saw this. I was like, yeah, I gotta have it. And Tone, I thought of you as soon as I saw it.
One Silver Surfer. It's got
Oh, look at that Doom
oh,
cover.
oh
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, what my guy.
Doom Shock or Doom Struck is what it's called. And this is Silver Surfer number 107. And Surfer ain't doing too good on that cover, guys.
Nobody should be against Doom.
Heck
Yeah.
no. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm getting that. That's coming home with me today. Next up is New Avengers number 63. This is filling in the gaps of what I'm missing. I'm missing probably 21 issues for the whole run now. But this is during the Siege storyline. That's Luke Cage on the cover. Beautiful
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
Then we go into a Flash issue that I picked up. And this is wonderful Jurgens artwork. And this is the Flash number 53.
Oh yeah, that's classic, right?
Look
there.
at that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And a neat little thing on here is it says up in the corner, watch the Flash Saturday nights on CBS TV. So I thought that was really cool to see that. So it's a race against time with Jimmy Olsen's life at stake. So I'll have to dive into that and see what it's about.
You know that Flash series was good, and I was pissed when they took it off.
The TV show?
Yeah.
But we know that DC's extended universe, the multiverse, that show is canon somewhere. Yeah. So, but moving on, you guys talk. Oh, let me show you this first. Beautiful art germ cover for Catwoman number 9. As soon as I saw it, I had to grab it.
That's a good one.
That's it's gorgeous. As soon as I saw it.
That's a great Selena.
Yep. So this is right side up, but this is actually the way it's supposed to be. Her sneaking in somewhere doing something she ain't supposed to be doing.
Yep.
I wonder, I don't know the position of that. What's Bruce looking at in the background? I know Bruce is in that photo, but Bruce has got a photo. Bruce. Kids may be watching. Kids
are watching. But you and Jamie, Tone, were talking about something with my nephew after we were done with Breaking the Codes last night. Guys, if you haven't checked it out, go check out Breaking the Code on YouTube for the Codex Station. You'll love it. It's amazing. And Jamie said something about the Flash Rebirth. Well, when we were at the store today, I was able to pick up issues 2, 4, 5, and 6 for $1 a piece. Nice. I'll show those off right now. They're beautiful Van Siever covers.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, so that's number 2, number 4, and this is the first appearance of the Negative Speed Force too, or at least the first introduction to it, the mention, or whatever it could be. This one I like. This is an homage to an older Flash cover. Yeah. So there's that. That's number 5, and then number 6.
Great.
Yeah. Then go ahead.
Anyone who doesn't know, when we say rebirth, there are 2 big rebirths, and that was Green Lantern rebirth and Flash rebirth. If you watched our last show, you saw that we said there was a lot of upheaval in DC at the 90s within the stories. They shook up a lot of the characters, and they killed Barry. Barry Allen died as the Flash in the 80s. And
Crisis number 8, I believe.
Exactly. And he ran himself to death trying to save the multiverse from the Anti-Monitor, the villain in that story. And his nephew Wally West took over as the Flash. And now fast forward to the kind of mid 2000s, DC brought Barry back. And that's the return of Barry Allen, the Flash coming back. And so I love that story.
Well, was that a pun? Was that a pun intended there with the Flash forward?
No, actually it wasn't. My brain just works like that even when I don't realize it, right? No, pun was not intended, but pun is accepted.
Well, speaking of reintroductions to characters, I picked up some trades too, and one of those is these Jeff Loeb and Mike Turner work on Superman Batman, and this is Supergirl. The return of Supergirl into the DC universe. And I read 2 issues out of this so far, and it was wonderful. Turner's artwork is gorgeous.
He makes these characters so sexy.
Hey,
what was the one he did when he was with is it Fathom? Right.
With Image, that might be Aspen. No, Aspen was the company he created.
No,
Fathom, I think you're correct.
Yeah, and I remember walking past the comic table in the 90s, and his work just sucked me in. Like, God, that is gorgeous. Like, it's so gorgeous, I don't want to read it. I just want to look at the art. And when he started doing this work for DC, I was like, man, he makes them look amazing. You know,
look at that interior work.
That's the late great Michael Turner.
Yeah, if you guys, anybody watching this, if you can find Turner anything, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. But something else I picked up, I had this before and got rid of it for one reason or another, but for $3 I couldn't pass it up. Civil War trade paperback.
Oh yeah.
Now,
for the comic fans out there, you should read that Civil War, right? I know you saw the MCU movies, right? That's all fine and dandy. You enjoyed it. But it doesn't hold the candle to the comic story, right? And you should pick it up and read it. The comic story is much more impactful, much bigger, much deeper, and it resonates through the characters. This impact on them more. I'll leave it there. Highly recommend read.
Well, I found something else too. This was, I think, $18, and I couldn't pass it up. This is the Return of Superman. So you had the death of Superman, where Doomsday and him beat the snot out of each other and kill each other, basically, or knocks Doomsday out, Superman dies. Then you have World Without and Funeral for a Friend. And then you have the Return, and that brings in Superboy, the Eradicator, Steel, and Cyborg Superman. I found the complete collection for $18, and I could not pass this up.
Wow.
I mean, and it has everything, including Green Lantern 46, The Destruction of Coast City.
Oh yeah.
So
it spins off to the events at Emerald Twilight.
Yep, exactly. That is the catalyst right there, the straw that breaks the camel's back that sends Hal Jordan on his road to becoming Parallax. Last trade I want to show you. I found this $14. Could not pass it up. I had this years ago, and this is a second printing. I don't care about that. I'm just happy to have it. DC versus Marvel.
Not even the digital of that. That's good.
Yeah, this is issues 1 through 4. It is an absolutely beautiful piece of comic history. Some of the battles are controversial, who wins, who loses, but you know, the first bit that I flipped through on this that I went directly to, Captain America versus Batman. As soon as I got it, I was like, where's that fight?
What was it? Tang.
Oh yeah, the batarang. Yeah. Oh, you're really good with that. What is it called? A batarang? Practiced a time or two. But all right, let me get into some of these pulls here, and I got some other older books that I want to show you. I'll breeze through these real quick. But we've got some Spider-Man stuff here, and in this stack is my book of the week. And we talked about this off camera yesterday, but first we have the Art Germ variant for Amazing Spider-Man #1. Absolutely gorgeous. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man #2. This with the first one, I was not sold. After I read this, I was on board.
And if you are a casual fan out there, just really quick, when Tim says Art Germ is an artist who does these amazing covers.
These types specifically.
Yeah, and so that's the art. When we say an Art Germ cover, that's the name of the artist, and we're like, "Whoa, Art Germ drew it." Most of the time, when Art Germ draws something, it flies off the shelves.
Yeah, because they're gorgeous. But got some variants for #2. Got a Black Cat variant for #2.
Nice.
Yeah,
like it.
Yeah, that's good.
And I got the Lee Inhyuk. I never pronounce his name right, and I apologize. Inhyuk Lee. I don't know. But anyways, it's Spider-Man and Tombstone beating the snot out of each other. Absolutely wonderful. That's another variant for #2. #3, this is the book that sealed it for me. This right here. #3 for the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So
that's the A cover too.
Good. Yeah. And what they're doing with Tombstone is wonderful. Like I did not care about Tombstone back in the day, but this I care about Tombstone now. And here is the scroll variant for number 3. And here's my book of the week, Amazing Spider-Man number 4. So this is a continuation. Issue 1 I was not a big fan of. 2 was great, 3 was better, 4 carried the energy from 3 right on over into these pages. And Spider-Man's in a precarious situation, and basically he was used to end a gang war before it even got started. And once he figured that out, I was sitting there, I was like, Spider-Man, what'd you do, man? And he's saying the same thing. He's like, I was used. I was like, dude, that's not good. But we got that. And then we have the variant cover. This is the AAPI, the Asian American Heritage variant. And it has the one and only Wong on the cover. So that's wonderful. This book, I haven't read issue 12. I have it, but issue 11 of Moon Knight almost made my pick of the week.
Yeah.
Such a good story, such a good book. If you guys aren't reading Moon Knight, pick it up. Yep. Zodiac is he's the best D-list villain going on right now, and it's amazing. I got issue 12. Haven't read that yet, so that's going to be read tomorrow. Tigra, what they're doing with her in Moon Knight right now is killer.
Yeah.
Speaking of her, variant for issue number 12.
Yep.
And there she is right down there, wearing more clothes than normal. Here's a bunch of older stuff now. This I found at McKay's a couple weeks ago, and this is X-Men 170.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 170, Storm versus Callisto. Classic
of the Morlocks.
That's right. Classic X-Men storyline here.
Epic fight scene. Scene.
Yeah.
And then I got Uncanny 249. Beautiful Silvestri work, I believe. Is that Silvestri?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. That's before Jim Lee came on as the regular artist.
Yep.
That Havoc. I've always loved the visual dynamic of a good Havoc when he's drawn.
Dude, when he's getting into his power, you know something's happening.
Exactly, man.
Real quick.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. If you read the I want to say it's the Inferno series on the X-Force portion of that story, where him and Cyclops are just letting loose against the big baddie at the end. That is some epic artwork right there.
What's your guys' favorite iteration of Havoc? I'll tell you mine, then you guys tell me yours. Mine is from the Peter David run in X Factor.
I like it. I like that one, and I'll say that's probably a tie for number 1. But the first time I viewed Havoc in the X-Men books was during the I want to say the Murder World with Arcade.
Ooh, okay, right on.
That was my classic introduction to Havoc. So that one's going to slightly edge out that other one. So,
and that's when Havoc was still in his classic costume.
Yes. Yep.
Exactly. Okay, Tone, what do you got?
My favorite, and I can't tell you who the writer and the artist was, but it was the X Factor run with Havoc leading X Factor.
The Peter David.
In the early 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
And up until, and I believe, I don't remember the issue number, but it up until Madrox is confirmed to have the legacy virus, and that to me is where the writing starts to get shaky.
Yeah.
And I loved Alex in a position where he's no longer second fiddle to Cyclops, right? He's not just the number 2 Summers brother.
Yeah.
And that's when they introduce they go to the Age of Apocalypse, and then they come back and they're teasing the prelate Summers. Right. Yeah. And I wanted to see that was going to go. I thought, they're going to do an even better version of him, and they never did. But that's my favorite version. I guess the early 90s X Factor run, which I guess is Peter David.
Same one that I chose. Well, let me move on here. I got 2 issues out of a Walmart 3-pack that I really liked, and those immediately went into bags and boards. Ghost Rider number 1.
Yeah,
I haven't read it yet, but Nick says it is really awesome. Tone, you're shaking your head.
I think Nick would agree with me. What's up, Nick? That it is written as a horror book right now. And I'm loving it. And I think if you it, I almost feel like this is the Ghost Rider I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I feel reading this book.
Hey, No Cookies 51. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you in the chat. That Silver Surfer Doom cover is absolutely amazing. Keep your eyes peeled, buddy. We got a lot more to show you. This one here reinvigorated my want to read this title. I have issue 1. I have a J. Scott Campbell variant, but this is issue 13 of Black Widow. And that is her in her old 80s / early 90s outfit. And the whole issue takes place in the past. And the panel style and everything has a little pixelations and all that stuff. So I flipped through it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. I'm done.
I heard great things about that run.
Here is my tie for book of the week. Well, honorable mention. Jamie doesn't like it when I choose 2 things, but by golly, this one deserves it.
Jamie's not here, so.
Oh, hey, fancy that. Jamie isn't here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my second choice for the week, and that is Poison Ivy #1.
There you go.
Dude, Tone.
Awesome.
Anybody that even knows a tiny smidgen about Poison Ivy, pick this up. This is wonderful, and I cannot wait to get into the rest of this series. As soon as I read it, when I went into the comic shop again, I was like, Poison Ivy needs to be on my pulls. That has to happen. And I got the C cover variant for that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. That is not Art Germ, by the way. I don't think it might.
Yeah, Art Germ's making them all up their game.
Oh, no kidding. Now here's the rest of this stuff is all older stuff, and I'll fly through this with the exception of a few, but stuff I got at McKay's again. Had to get this cover alone. Justice League #3.
Oh yeah, that's a nice cover.
Hawk Girl, that's beautiful. Yeah. And then Justice League #8. Look at that. That's, got those for $1 a piece. Nice. Then I found Superman the Man of Steel, better copy than I have. This is #1.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. That's always a great read. And I think it was Brayfogle or Bogdanov who did the artwork in that, and Simonson was writing, so that's good stuff.
Louise,
do what? No, I think it was Walter.
Okay,
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong on that, Sal, would you look that up real quick?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's no problem.
Superman the Man of Steel. I believe it's Walter, but you might be correct, Tone. I think it's Louise.
Yeah. So for the casual fan out there, Louise and Walter Simonson, married, husband and wife, legendary comic team, also done great work across the industry.
Moving forward, I found another variant I didn't have for Superman Unchained. This is the #5 issue. This is the 30 Superman variant. I'll pick those up all day long, any day. Then I got real quick some Superman / Batman 65, 76, and 81, getting closer to completing the entire run of this. This has to do, I'm pretty sure, with Final Crisis, one of the worst DC storylines ever written. And then we've got #81 here. And then we've got the last issue in Robin Volume 2. Couldn't pass it up. Needed it. Got it.
Another homage cover.
Yeah, to Robin #1. Absolutely. And it's fantastic. Then we got Superman Annual #12.
Okay.
And then we're into the Brine run on Superman, and we have #7. This is when they restarted the Superman series from the original numbering, and they restarted it to #1 after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Okay.
And this was the fresh start there, and that is the same run that is the Death of Superman 2. Got this on cover alone, and also because I needed it, #14. That just looks gorgeous. I love it.
Oh, I hated that era. Nice. I hated that era of how you could paint something yellow and challenge Hal. And I'm like, they're really overdoing this weakness to yellow.
I have
Right.
a banana.
I could throw a yellow rock at Hal and it would hit him right now. I hated that era. I hated the way they approached Hal in that era. But anyway.
Jamie, you got anything to say about that? Are you in the chat there, buddy? No, sir, he is not. Okay, moving on. Anyways, so Superman number 19.
Okay.
Just
okay.
another. We're sticking right in there. I love this
Are you
cover.
Are you trying to get a complete run of that? Is that one of your goals?
Working on it. I have the last issue, but I don't have the first issue. I think the earliest one I have is the one I just showed, and that was number 7. So I'm trying to fill in as much as I can. There's a lot of series that I'm working on, some more than others, this one being the more than others.
Gotcha.
Then we have Superman 21. Love the cover.
Oh,
And that's Supergirl.
Yeah.
Beating the snot out of Superman. Yeah. What does he say? It can't be. Not you. Yes, Superman. It is.
Is this the run where they formally established that she's stronger than him?
That's a very good question. This is part 1 of the Supergirl saga. So, and this came out in September of 1988. So, Tone, you could be on the right track there. Yeah. Now we're going to move to modern. If anybody wants to jump into Superman right now, this is the title to do it. It's Action Comics 1043.
Oof.
This is the B variant. I just love
Oh,
that. Right?
that's great.
Look at
That's
that.
a nice cover. I like that one.
DC is killing
send that
it
one
with
out
these
to me.
bees.
Like not that comic, but I'm gonna hunt that down. That's got to go on my wall.
This is 1043 for Action Comics.
1043.
The run that's going on, Johnson, Federici, Conrad, and Lou Ridge, their work on this with Mongol as the main villain in the center of this story. Wonderful work. One of the greatest sleeper DC stories that's going on right now. And it doesn't get pushed a whole lot either. So yeah, if you want to get into Superman, Action Comics is where it's at. And speaking of action, my dad sent me 2. He found him at a flea market. He's like, hey, Tim, you got these? No? Well, now you do. Okay, cool. Action number 537.
Okay.
So, and then we got Superman. DC Comics Presents annual number 2. And this is Superman introduces Superwoman. I know next to nothing about this. Tone, you may know more about that, or Sal, you may know more about that than
Actually,
I do.
I do not, but that's
What? So I don't know about that. I remember Superwoman from a book I bought sometime between 78 and 82.
This is 83.
And so they introduced her, and I've been looking for that book for literally 35 years.
This one right here?
I don't no, it's not. The cover for the one I had was different.
Okay, I got you.
It wasn't introducing her, that character, and I don't know about that book specifically, but that character Superwoman was introduced a couple of years before. And and the cover of the book has Superman and Wonder Woman flying, and he's kissing her, and then Superwoman's there, and I'm looking at this. It's like a, what do you call it? A collage cover with a lot of little things happening.
Right. Okay.
And I lost that comic, and I could never find any reference to Superwoman again when I went back and looked in the 90s. So throughout the rest of the 80s, from about 84, 85 forward to about 92.
Well, now you know she exists. She is real.
Yeah.
So this has to be definitely pre-Supergirl era, though.
I believe so, because the Brine stuff I was showing you was 88. This is 83. So this is pre-Crisis even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got 4 more things to show you guys, and I'll run through them real quick, and then Sal, you can go ahead. Tone, these I got specifically because of what you were talking about. Well, one for sure. The other I got because I wanted to check it out. But Aftershock Comics, Astronaut Down number 1.
Oh yeah.
Snagged that straight from the website. And they even sent it in a bag and a board.
Nice.
They didn't send it loose. They sent it well taken care of, and in Gemini mailers too.
Wow.
Anybody that hasn't read this, you can go to the website aftershockcomics.com and get it for cover price $3.99. Tone, you give a better description of what this book is about, but based on that, what we were talking about on a different episode of After Dark, I had to find this, and I found it and I read it and I loved it. So that's happening. And then the other one I got, I don't know next to nothing about, but I explained it a little bit. Called Cold War #1. And basically it's like these figures and soldiers from different eras of history that have been put in like a cryogenic freeze, and they're being brought back out to fight again, but they realize that what they're fighting for now is not what they were fighting for before. I haven't read it yet, but I am very anxious to dive into this. So that's another Aftershock title. And then the last two things I have are the Last Ronin related. And I got Last Ronin Design Archive. Whoops, there we go. Found that. So I had to grab that. And then I got, I think this is second printing of issue #2. And the cover alone.
Yeah.
Love it.
The death of Raphael.
Yep. So that is my catching up to you guys and showing all the stuff I've had sitting here waiting to show for the past 3 weeks, and now I can put them away finally.
those are great polls. That's a great stack.
So once again, guys, my
nice.
book of the week is Amazing Spider-Man #4. Tone, your book of the week is X-Men Red #4.
Yes.
Sal, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, let me answer your question earlier. You were asking about the Superman Man of Steel. Who were you looking for? The writer or the cover?
Yeah. Who was writing it?
Louise Simonson.
Yeah.
Simpson. Sorry.
No, it's Simonson. It's Simonson. You
Simonson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's
Simonson.
a wonderful writer, wrote some very amazing stories, and Man of Steel is definitely part of that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize just how broad her writing has been in the industry. I've got a copy up here of the first appearance of Doomsday, which she was a part of. She wrote part of that. She's part of that creation, and so I've got.
Was that Man of Steel 18?
Man of Steel 18.
Yeah.
So yep, and
Same
it's right up here on the wall. And so people didn't realize that she had moved over and started writing and working on Superman. So
that's wonderful.
That's cool.
Yeah. Man of Steel, I always thought
Good
was
stuff.
a sleeper title.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, all right, Sal, what do you got for us?
Okay. So just to preface this, you guys, I don't really hit my LCS every week. I can't do it. It's not in the cards. So usually I go every 3 to 4 weeks. I've been better about that lately, but this is one of those times where it's going to be a while. I can't go till next week. So my next week's pool will probably be a stack like that. But let me go through some of the past stuff that I've liked. And I know I haven't been on the show for a while, so I can probably show you some stuff that I picked up that I've liked.
Hey, Tim, next week, Sal's wallet's going to be crying like it's a Goodfellas movie. No,
right on.
No.
You making fun of me? You
Captain
telling
America
jokes
Zero?
now? Oh, sorry, Sal. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
We were too busy clowning your wallet. We apologize. We're sorry, Sal. Right?
That's
No,
all right.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm
Okay.
just okay. Go ahead. All right, sorry. Ray Liotta, rest in peace.
So let's start off with Captain America #0 with the Falcon on the cover.
Yeah.
Sam Winston as the Falcon, his costume design as Captain America, beautiful.
Yeah.
So I got the bundle with the Captain Americas, and I really like this cover as well.
Is that Alex Ross?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
man.
I believe it is.
He could draw air molecules and I'd buy it.
I've got that Sam Wilson cover up here on the wall. I loved it so much. I just wish it was a little bit brighter. It's like he's flying at night, and so the color's subdued and I wanted anyway, it's gorgeous.
It is. Here's the collage cover.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay, I got a Captain America Iron Man book #2.
Look at that. More Alex Ross.
Yep.
Yeah.
God almighty, that man's doing covers every day.
Yep. He had a sale on his Batman, I want to say 125 on his site. And I was just tapped. I could not, it was not in the budget, and I had to let it go.
Time to return some stuff.
I know, whatever. Not returning it.
I met him, by the way, and
You
he
did?
signed. I met Alex Ross and he signed my absolute copy of Kingdom Come. Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good one. So we got the Gambit Captain America version.
The Jim Lee variant covers of the cards that they were putting out.
Yep.
Dude.
So I also have my Venom #8. This is a variant cover.
That's
It's
Fortnite.
cover.
Yeah, my son would love that.
I am a little bit behind on X-Men Red, but I'm on #2. And I have read this
Sal's
one.
book of the week is #4. So there you
I
go.
know. And I have to agree, this has been
Or Tone, Sal. I'm getting
yeah, Tone. It's Tone's book of the week. I've only read 1 and 2, but I've been hooked in immediately. I love this series, and if he says book #4 is his book of the week, then definitely go pick it up. It's something to read.
Yeah.
Is that the issue where Storm claps Vulcan's cheeks?
Yeah.
Right?
I believe so. Yep.
Yep. That's the issue. 2 Omega level mutants meet. One of them gets clapped. Guess which one?
Not Storm.
Here's a nice Doom cover. Fantastic.
Oh,
yeah, my guy right there.
That's a heavy push on Kirby artwork right there.
I was about to say that. It looks like Kirby influence there.
So this is gonna make the short list to be slab. So
is that a variant cover or an A cover?
This is it is definitely a variant cover. This is the second printing. No, I'm sorry, second cover, first issue, first edition of the second cover.
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what it is tonight. I'm just tired and I cannot talk straight. So I picked up. I've added to my pull list the Savage Avengers.
Okay.
Right on.
Because I'm actually a big Black Knight fan. So
you're pushing him.
Yep. And so I said I'm gonna add that to my list. Here we go with an Iron Man and Cat.
Okay.
Who is that on the cover?
It's Hellcat. Yeah, Hellcat.
Oh.
They're positioning them to get married now.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, well, at least we know Tony is probably going to propose to her. I think it actually came out last week.
I think it did.
I think it did. Like I said, I haven't been to my shop, so I'm kind of behind. we won't talk about that. Moving on.
You didn't hear that.
So I picked this up because I love this type of artwork.
Oh, dude!
See on my wall, the very top, second one in, it's the Wolverine against the yellow background.
Yeah,
this is the Black Panther against the black background, and it just pops. It just stands out to me.
That looks gorgeous.
I paid $7. It was worth it.
Can't go wrong.
No,
gorgeous.
It was worth it.
Gorgeous.
So I have a Venom scroll.
Yeah.
Okay, and scroll covers. Yep.
Yeah, that's the big theme that they're doing right now is the scroll variants.
Yep. So I got the Captain America and the like an Iron Man suit for him.
Is that the Iron? That's an Iron Man suit for him. That's not the Iron Patriot.
Really?
It looks like the Iron Patriot, but I have not read this one yet. So it looks like the Iron Patriot, but it's definitely an Iron Man suit.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's very much similar to the Iron Patriot suit from the movie. So
gotcha.
Okay. Not Norman Osborn's then.
Correct. And of course we got the Poison Ivy.
Can't go wrong with that.
I definitely like this book. That was good. That was a good read. So I would say definitely pick that up. These next two I have not read, but I picked up because of just cover alone. We got the Spider Hulk.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sal, out of anything you've shown so far, or any of those your books of the week, or has that yet to come up?
Nope, has not yet to come up yet.
Okay.
Not come up yet.
That was the Spider Hulk one shot, right? Or is it a 3-part, or was it a one shot? Because I think I've got that in a different cover.
It does not say one shot. So this is, I think, the mini. I don't think this is an ongoing.
Okay. Yeah, I think I bought that, and yeah, I think the story was pretty good.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. It's no problem, man. So I have another Spider Hulk.
Look at that.
Yeah, nice.
This is number 6.
Wow.
So I picked this up. I'm not really collecting Hulk, but I couldn't resist those covers.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Big fan of that one. And now for my book of the week. This one's a pretty thick one. It's good. It's good. It's called Mandalorian Mayhem: Attack of the Clones Anniversary Issue.
Star Wars.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, amazing.
Tell me
So
the
this
name of
one
that
is-
one more time.
Yep. Hang on.
You said that was an anniversary issue?
Yes, it is. It's thick. It's a thick book. I don't know how many pages right off my head.
Yeah, I'm taking
it's
note
definitely
of
a
that
thick
one
book.
also.
It is a Star Wars Insider number 210 version photo variant. That's what it's
Star
called.
Wars Insider.
Star
Number
Wars
210.
Insider number 210.
In Virgin photo variant.
Yep. So they made, according to the card stock there, they made 400. 400 on this particular day. So, I always feel like it's not a true, accurate reading. There can't be only 400 books of this in the known universe. To me,
Right.
that's just silly. I mean, there's probably made like 400 for this particular situation, but they made probably another 6,000 of this book.
So why is that your book of the week, Sal?
I just love the art. I love the art, and I've just, ever since the Mandalorian show, I just been hooked on anything Mandalorian. I really have.
I
Hide your
understand.
poster, Tone. Don't let Sal see that poster.
Uh-oh. I see it. I see it. I see
I'm
it.
just saying.
Okay.
And I think out of all the Star Wars work personally that's come out on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian has been the class of it. That enough said. I gotta Stan Lee that. Enough said. Yeah.
Enough said. Mm-mm.
Well, Sal, does that cover your books for the week?
No, we've got slabby goodness now.
Well, before we
Huh?
get
Okay.
into slabs, why don't you go ahead and let people know one more time about your YouTube channel?
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Sal's Comic Corner. And I go through and I talk about slabs. I talk about how I made my display wall and what I used and some tips and tricks on creating what I did up there at a very cheap price, mind you. I try to make sure it's not, incredibly expensive. On another video, I actually went through and showed you what to go through in a book when you're looking to make the decision on grading or not grading. So I bought a couple of dollar books from the LCS and I actually destroyed them in a certain way. So when you're actually flipping through the book, you can actually see, oh, this has got a crease, this has got a bend, and that way it could help you make a better decision if you wanted to actually send a book off to be graded. Because in the past, I'd sent the book off, because I didn't know and I didn't look at it. And it comes back at a 6 or a 7. And I'm like, well, that's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. But now if you look through the book, you can actually try to make a better judgment call on books that you want to send off.
Right.
In future videos, I actually want to go through and show you how to open up a slab if you wanted to do anything else with it, maybe get it pressed, maybe get it signed, and that sort of thing.
Right
So
on.
the channel is called Sal's Comic Corner, so please check it out. If you got questions in the add it to the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer anything you got.
Yep. And the link for Sal's channel is in Twitch chat right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, it is in the comments or it is in the description of this video. And you can click that link and also find it in our featured channels list on the Codex station.
Thank you very much.
Hey, no problem, Sal. Without further ado, why don't you go ahead and show us those slabs?
Yes. So let's start off with Batman. We got a Batman one.
I'm done. I'm
Homage cover.
God
Yep,
almighty.
And honestly, I'm kind of 50-50 on homage covers. I either really like it or I'm like sick of it.
That's
this
a
one
9.8.
This is a 9.8. It's unsigned. It's created by CGC. And they usually tell you what it's in there. This is a Bogdanovic variant cover. And it actually says Spider-Man #1 cover homage on it.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Yep.
Yeah.
God almighty. Tone, we're done. Sal's off the
Hold
show.
on. This one's actually, you're gonna love this one because this is one I just love. This one is Batman 1039.
Okay. Ooh.
And to me, this a lot of the reason why I do slabbing. It's a bad glare. Sorry about the glare.
That's a
Is this better?
9.8 too, right? Yep.
That is correct.
I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit
Sorry.
and lift it up some.
Is that the B variant, Sal?
You know, that stance he's in reminds me of the way the animated
Yeah.
series Batman ends, where he's at the very end, where he's standing on the rooftop, the wind,
And
the
the lightning is striking.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Yep. And I got a good story for you at the end of this about that particular, situation.
Right
So
on.
a lot of reason why I do slab is I really enjoy the artwork, and I really feel like it needs to be displayed and put out to be shown, just like any other art that you would hang on your wall, So this, to me, encapsulates the essence of Batman. I mean, I just feel like when you look at this cover, it just screams, this is Batman.
Nice.
Obviously you can tell it, but his character alone it just pops to me. It pops to me,
Right.
So I've been recently getting into Moon Knight. So sorry, Jamie, look at this one. I got this one.
Ooh, number 1.
Oh,
Look at that. That's a beautiful variant.
Yep, this is also a variant. This is let me see which one this is.
And a 9.8, the big 9.8.
This is actually the third variant, or third cover, I should say.
wow.
First one's A.
Cover
so this
C.
Is the third cover. Cover B. C.
Ooh,
Cover C.
Cover C. Okay. Right on.
All right. Next up is good old Scream.
Ooh.
I'm a big Venom fan, as you can probably see from my handle.
What's the grade on that?
That's also 9.8.
Everything's 9.8. Sal, real quick, explain to people what that means.
Okay, so each pressing company, CGC and CBCS, have grades that they assign to books. Now they've gone through, they've checked it out, and they said that this is a 9.8, and what that means is like a near mint book. This is almost in perfect condition. I've never actually had a 10. I've seen 10s. I've even seen 9.9s. I do not own any, but I have seen them. So they do exist out there.
9.8s are considered
Near
premium quality.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, something that's a 10 had to be something that that came off the press, happened to be perfect off the press, and never shipped anywhere. It's so difficult to get a 10.
Yeah, they're extremely rare.
Yep, they are. I've seen that the last Ronin books get a 10, and I've seen the Batman Black Label also
Batman
get a 10.
Damned, number 1.
Batman Damned. Yep.
A lot of those got 10s.
Yeah, a lot of those did get 10s.
So that's not rare for Batman Damned number 1, but everywhere else it's almost impossible to see.
Let's save that one for last. We're going to go with this one next. So I've got.
I saw that at the store today.
A mega red.
This is a 9.6.
Nice. Jim Lee was just killing it on that X-Men run.
I know.
That art was just popping every issue.
It was.
Jim Lee, do X-Men. Do whatever you want with X-Men. I'm going to make a naked Russian. Okay.
So the only unfortunate thing is I don't have the grader's notes. So I don't know why this exactly got a 9.6.
You can request them, though.
It could be a spine tick, but I can't see anything. It could be a bent page inside the book that I did, I can't tell now. But the corners, the spine, it looks fantastic.
9.6 is still
good.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, the grades, I like the higher grades, but if there's a good book, which I'm about to show you next, if it's a lower grade, I really don't mind it. If it's really a good book, I'm gonna go for it. And this one I did. Paid a little bit for this one, so we're not going to talk about that.
Sal's wallet's crying now.
So I got a Chris Claremont sign.
Oh yeah.
Days of Future Past.
Oof.
And this one came back as a 6.0. Now, for the people that don't know the slabbing, this is the CGC signature series, which means it was probably a private signature event with Chris Claremont. And this book was signed at this particular event. And it's a 6.0, but they don't, unfortunately, again, they do not tell me why. And I do not, because I didn't grade the book myself, so I don't know. I didn't purchase the grader's notes. The grader's notes are a separate feature when you submitting a book. I believe they're $5 or $10 more. I don't know if those prices have changed, but you can actually pay a little bit more and actually get the notes from the graders to say what was wrong with the book.
Sal, just put that in a Gemini mailer and send it to me because I need that to complete my uncanny run. So that's as soon as you get to the post office, it'll be all right.
Tell you what, I'll send you a reader copy.
Oh, okay, that's fantastic.
Let me see if I have one more. Do I have one more? No, those are other books. I am done. That is all I have for you tonight.
Well,
Wow.
all right.
That's outstanding.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic. But that takes us into our first topic of the night. And Sal, you had some CGC / CBCS information that you wanted to go over.
I do. So I'm going to start with CBCS because they're this is what came out. They offered now a new tier of grading, and it's called the Super Express. Super Express. Okay. Not so they have standard, they have Express, they have Express Plus, and now they have Super Express. Now these books are these prices vary on the age of the book. So obviously the older the book is, the more money this is going to run you. Everything now is listed on their site. You just have to look it up. But this is the first time I've actually seen a Super Express option. Now the Super Express option means the turnaround time will be 1 day, if you can believe it.
Wow.
One day to turn it around.
How are they going to pull that off when they can't get books shipped back in a year?
This is my biggest complaint about the grading industry. They take so long to actually come back, get books to come back to you. That, I mean, even I've been like surprised that I get a little note from one of my facilitators I buy books from or submit books through. They're like, "Hey, your books came in. You want me to ship them to you?" And I'm like, "What books did I buy from you now?" And he's like, "Oh, this is the ones you submitted for grading last year." I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah,
Wow.
send them." Listen, that type of thing. So right now, their tiers, their turnaround times for just grading is like 224 days.
That's
just the standard.
almost a year.
And then here's the big thing: the Express, which is the next jump up, is 14 days. The Express Plus is 5 days, which makes the Super Express 1 day.
I don't see how they could pull that off.
I don't either. Now here, listen to this one.
Because that's
They
like
also-
what is that like? Getting your books back, counting, processing through the mail there and back in like 3 weeks.
No, that does not include the mailing, as far as I know. This is only the actual process. So the mailing it back to you is still another X number of days to come to you.
6 months.
Yeah. They send it, slow boat type of situation, probably.
Wow.
So
I
they
don't see
have
how they could do
also
it.
on their site, this is still CBCS,
Mhm.
they actually have the turnaround times for the pressing. So now when you send the book in, you can say, "Hey, this book needs a pressing, give me a pressing and a grading." So of course the pressing, oh my God, you're gonna love this. Right now, the standard turnaround time is 490 days for the standard.
That's a year and a half.
Yeah.
To
Then
press.
you add on the grading. So personally, I would not press through the companies just because of the turnaround time, period. There are plenty of facilitators out there that will press the book for you. And you just have to look around, start asking questions, get some references. They'll show pictures of before and after works. And those guys usually turn around within 1 week. And the benefit to that is those guys usually, at least as far as the ones I've dealt with, can actually turn around and submit it to you to the grading company. So it kind of, they're taking care of it for you. They're taking care of all of it.
Yeah.
Now their prices may be a little bit different, but they're not terribly drastically different. You know what I'm saying? You might pay $5 or $10 more than sending it through the companies.
That's better than waiting a year and a half, though.
Exactly.
Right.
So the turnaround time right now for the Super Express pressing is 7 days.
So 8 days total for Super Express press and grading on 1 day, and then that's not counting shipping and return.
So do you want to hear the prices on it?
Go for it.
So for a new book, which is anything from 2001 to present, the Super Express is $250 a book. Okay, this jumps up. This jumps up when it gets to vintage books, which is pre 1975.
those books you're sending in better be 9.8s at a minimum.
For the wait time and all this money. Yeah. So the Super Express for vintage is $500 a book.
You lie.
Evil numbers.
Sorry, just
So
$500. So you're saying you use Super Express weekly, right?
Yep, I do not. No, sir. I will use the Express, which is $60 a book. I may actually change it to go Express Plus because it's only $15 more, making it $75 a book.
So,
okay.
Sal, how does that compare with CGC stuff?
So with CGC, their prices are kind of similar. I'm trying to see if I can find something really quick.
Well, here, let me ask you this. With the current turnaround time for CBCS and
want to time out. Be right back, guys.
Go for it. For current turnaround time for CGC and CBCS, is it just a safe assumption to use PGX or EDS?
No. Sorry.
I hear PGX is really trying to turn their stuff around, though.
They may have, but it's going to take a lot of evidence to prove to me otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, no, I mean, CGC is probably the premium with CBCS, a very close second. And that's well and good. One of my videos I would like to do is actually going to show you the cases and the quality of them. To me, they are very close to being identical quality wise. Okay. Sure, every once in a while you'll get a slab that's, or a encapsulation that's maybe cracked or maybe loose, and you can always send that back and have it redone. The reholdering, they don't regrade it, they reholder it. So you have to send it back all as one piece. You can't take it out and resend it. If you do that, then they're regrading it.
Yep.
Okay.
And
so if you're sending it back in, send it back in with the slabs, and they'll reholder it for you. Okay. Remember I'm not sure if you've heard of the Newton ring incident where there was Newton rings on a lot of books that came back.
Explain to people what that is.
Newton rings are kind of like moisture that's trapped between the book and the inner sleeve. Okay. Well, not really the book. I'm sorry. The inner sleeve and the actual slab case.
Yeah. The
plastic. So when the water presses down on it, it kind of gives you a ring. And it's a rainbow ring. It doesn't really take away from the book. I've seen them and it doesn't really bother me too much. So, I mean, it's one of those things it's what you like.
Because the book on the inside is the grade that it states, but those Newton rings are in between the plastic of the bag it's in and the plastic of the slab itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the sleeve that it's in, it's kind of like almost like a top loader plastic. It's similar. It's not as strong as sturdy, but it's very close to that type of. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
And then it's encapsulated in the actual plastic.
All right. So what do we got for information on CGC today?
Oh, let's see.
And ladies and gentlemen, while Sal's looking for all that, this is the courtesy reminder to find us on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, and podcast streaming platforms. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station. That's where you'll find us. We got Let's Talk on TikTok. That's brand new. So check it out. New episodes weekly of the podcast, Breaking the Code, mail call, reviews, one-shots, and After Darks, and so much more. So yeah, type in at the Codex Station. That's where we'll be. And you can also find Sal over on his own YouTube channel, Sal's Comic Corner. The link is in chat right now, and you can also find it on our featured section on our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. So for CGC right now, their prices are a little bit similar for, let's say, the standard. They have the standard, which is $80. And they say their turnaround time is 28 days. I don't believe that to be true.
No, a lot of people are still waiting for books, and I know people sent out books over a year ago.
Right. Yep. So there's a economy which is pre-1975. They say the fee is $35 plus a fast track of $15, so bringing it to $50. and the turnaround time there is 232 days.
Jeez.
Okay, if it's fast track, they say 23 days. Okay,
That's bananas. So I know that the books that I send out to CGC eventually, probably within the next 2 weeks, I won't see them until the beginning of next year.
yeah,
Wow.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So CGC makes you pay a membership fee.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really looked into that too much because I've always had a facilitator. Usually it's about $150, maybe $200, or maybe a little bit more. But they give you, let's say, 3 or 4 free gradings.
Yeah.
To like kind of like work that out with you with the so it almost feels like you're not paying for a membership, but you do have to pay for it.
Right on.
CBCS does offer a membership, but it's not required to send in.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't know if you are a member, if it's a faster turnaround time. I have not looked that up, but I will. It's part of my research to do later.
Okay.
You know, and when real life can actually give me a break and I can actually look at that.
Never.
So
All right.
Sal,
Oh, go ahead.
just really quick on that turnaround time, in your experience or your guesstimation or your informed knowledge, the reason, is it because they don't have enough people doing it? Is it because of issues that were caused across COVID with personnel? Is it because of a 90s style comic boom where people think they can make money and everybody's sending in everything, expecting it to triple its value, right? What's driving this turnaround time?
I think it's a little bit of everything, Tone. I think it's a little bit of everything. I think COVID did have an impact because people could not be in the office or their offices to do the grading. So I think they got a backlog of like entries because people kept mailing it in like there was nothing going on. So these things piled up. I know they're in some type of like, I don't want to say a clean room, but they're probably in a room that's kind of probably facilitated to actually check out books properly and not like, in your basement, flipping through pages with your Cheeto
make
hands.
sense to make sure that the books are
so
clean.
The other thing I think is a lot of these that maybe they don't have enough graders. So they, because they do, I want to say like double check work. So I'm in QA and I have someone that comes back behind me and double checks what I've tested to see if they get the same results. So I think what happens is it goes to a second or a third grader and they say, okay, yep, first grader's notes, he's correct. There's 3 spine ticks. It should be this grade. And then there's another one that does the same process again. So I think as it makes its way through the grading process, I think it slows down as people are backed up, that type of thing. And to the last point, yes, I think people think that they're going to triple their value. They're going to retire. They got the Dark Hawk number 1. They're sending it in. They're going to retire a millionaire because they think it's going to sell like that. No. And to be honest, no, it's not going to sell like that.
I think a Dark Hawk number 1 would go for, if it was 9.8 graded, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe $65 to $85.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, see, exactly. Because I think what a lot of people do is they put in the cost of what they paid to grade and then the value of the book itself in
exactly. So that's one of the factors I do when I'm buying a slab through just a regular Facebook sale or eBay or something like that. Although I tend to stay away from eBay. I use it to see the gauge what the book is being sold at. Because I go through their sold listings for whatever that book is and at that grade.
And that's a good indicator to use on what fair market value is at that moment.
Right, exactly. And if you're going to buy 6 or 7 books from one seller, you can probably work in a little bit of discount. They may cut you a little bit of slack and stuff like that. A lot of the Facebook sellers are very friendly and very willing to work with you if you wanted to buy more books from them. Imagine that. But so the reason that there are some books that will sell for a lot. You got your big keys, Amazing Spider-Man 300. You got your Hulk 180s and Hulk 181s, depending on which one you think is the first appearance. And those books are always going to increase in value. They're not going to skyrocket, but they're going to steadily increase and keep going up. Okay, as the books become more rare. And there's not a lot out there. Okay. So the reason why I really like the grading is when, if my daughter doesn't want these books and she decides she's going to sell my lot, which is fine with me. I'm honestly, that's okay. That won't bother me.
I want to just interject right there. I'm sorry, Sal. To my family, thou shalt never, ever sell the books. Sal is a much more caring, compassionate man than I am. When I pass, I either want them buried with me or you will keep them for eternity. And I mean eternity. We are clear, and this is on record. I love you all.
We have enough books to buy the
Sal,
state of Rhode Island, but
so I'm going to change my point now to Tone's point. They're never going to sell these books, okay? But what I like is that fact is, whatever book it is, it's going to go for a certain value at a certain grade, and I'm going to guarantee that that's the price they're going to get at that grade, whatever it is. 30 years, 40 years from now, you know, whatever that book is going for that grade, it's going to get that price as opposed to a raw one, which may or may not go as much.
And a raw
because there's no way
exposed more to the elements over time, and it's
handling. And, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
Wraps it up for me.
That's right on. Tony, you got anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's a great rundown. As a guy who's not a slab guy, I always love hearing Sal talk about it. I have two, and they're both Black Panthers. You know, first appearance of Shuri and the first appearance of Shuri as the Black Panther.
Nice.
And I've got them up on the wall right here. They're 9.4s. And so for me though, I see the convenience in stores. I see the emphasis on the art.
Were those two that you have graded out of your personal collection?
No, I bought them that way.
Right on.
I bought them already slabbed, and they were the two I was missing. I'm trying to get a full run of the Black Panther, though I've eased off on it now. Right now, I'm focused on Jungle Action featuring the Black Panther, which was the predecessor to the Black Panther series. I have volume 1, I have volume 2. I'm working on volume 3. I have all of volume 4, all of volume 5, all of volume 6, 7, and 8. Now 8 being the current volume. And so I needed those two to complete my volume. I think it was 7.
Nice.
And I got them. The volumes 4 and volume 7. So I'm good. But and that's what prompted me to get them. What's that?
It feels good when you complete a run.
Yeah. But you know, I just love hearing Sal talk about them, and I love the emphasis on art. I look at the things on the wall back then. I'm like, oh, they just look so great, you know.
I've only got one slabbed book, and that is Amazing Spider-Man 351, CBCS 9.8.
Nice.
The only reason I have that is because of sentimental value. It was the first comic book I ever bought with my own money.
I got one more point I'd like to make. Going to circle back to Tone. You said that one Batman book reminded you of the Batman opening credits scene from Batman the Animated Series with the lightning strike.
That's right.
So in another lifetime, I actually worked retail. I worked at Warner Brothers Studio Store. And I got access to a lot of the art. You know, I bought a lot of art from them, and I actually have 2 pieces. One's up right now, but I have another one put away. I actually have an animation cell from one of the episodes of Batman the Animated Series.
Wow.
And come on After Dark, I'll break that out and I'll show you.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Batman the Animated Series was one of the last cartoons to be actually hand drawn. So each frame was 130 seconds of a second. Okay. And I actually had the one from the Cape and Cowl Conspiracy, and it was very hard to grab or see that scene where it was just perfect. So that scene you see at the opening credits, they have that lightning strike come down at the same time. It's impossible, almost impossible to grab as that particular cell, just as the way it's drawn. Okay. They never made it. They never made that thing. And I would, every time it would, like, they would ask us for input, you know, as a gallery salespeople are like, well, what are people looking for? I always pushed that particular scene, because that would sell like hotcakes. It would. I would buy 3 or 4 copies myself. But you know, it didn't, you know, they never did it, and it is what it is. But the Cape and Cowl Conspiracy, if you watch that episode, he's trapped in a like a wax museum type thing. He's got the heat lamp on him, and he decides to destroy the heat lamp with one of the mannequin stands. So he reaches back to throw it like this, and the cape is popped open. The symbol is a perfect,
Nice.
Perfect color, and it's that particular second. It's just a excellent animation cell.
Right on.
So next time on After Dark, I'll make sure I break that out.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, gentlemen, our time is coming up to the end. We got about 13 minutes left, but I think we can squeeze in one more bit of a conversation.
Let's
if
do
you
it.
guys are up for it.
I'm up for it.
Well, Tone, this actually is the one that you were talking about today, and that is plagiarizing characters or copycats for that matter. So why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of what you're talking about, and then give us a couple of examples, and Sal and I will toss our copycats into the mix of that.
Okay, sounds great. Well, I wanted to have a little bit of fun. And for the casual fans out there that DC Marvel, what do you do? What do you do? You got to know these companies compete with each other, and they competed each other from the moment Marvel stepped on the scene. DC and Marvel started attacking and razzing each other and screwing with each other. It's what they do, and it's built into the comic culture, and we love it as fans, right? And so they literally would create different versions of each other's characters, right, and try to make their character the better version of it. And so these are these copycat characters, and we could always go back and plot a chart to which one came first, but some of them are obvious copycats, like the Namor is an obvious copy of Aquaman, right? Which one do you like better? You could say the Angel and the X-Men and Hawkman are copies of each other. They're both characters with wings, right? That's like, you could say that. And so you could say Green Arrow is a copy of Hawkman, right? I should say Green Arrow is a copy of Hawkeye. Sorry, my apologies there, right? And so we love looking at these copycat characters and saying, well, which one is better? It's an obvious copycat. And so a lot of people don't know. Literally, Thanos is a copy of Darkseid from DC, and Marvel's literally sitting around like, we need to make a villain like that, copy him and do him better. And they created Thanos, and we argue on which one is better. And so out of the copy characters, I am
Team Thanos all day long. Just putting that out there.
Because
Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate, right? Which is part now really quick when we talk about the cinematic universes, everybody knows me, to including the crew here at Kodak Station, knows I'm always screaming at why does DC consistently let Marvel get the character out first. So now if they come back and do their character, people are going to think they're copying Marvel, when many of the DC characters predate the Marvel characters, right? If DC puts out Dr. Fate, who you're going to see in the upcoming Black Adam movie, right? People are going to say that's just DC copying Doctor Strange. Is it?
Actually.
Yeah, exactly. And so I wanted to talk about what's your favorite kind of copycat argument, and who do you think wins?
Well, I am going to throw my first example into the ring, and this one's a pretty obvious one, and that is Deathstroke and Deadpool.
Ooh.
So for those of you that don't know, Deathstroke the Terminator is a character that came out in All New Teen Titans #2, I believe.
Yep.
And he is the guy that has one half of his face purple, black, the other half is orange. That's his mask. Deathstroke the Terminator. He hates the Titans, hates Dick Grayson, Nightwing, more so than anybody else. But dude is a master assassin, master hand-to-hand combatant, etc., etc., etc. One of the premier DC villains. Well, in the 90s, and his name is Slade Wilson. Yes. Well, in the 90s, Rob Liefeld, in all his infinite wisdom, was like, I'm going to make a Deathstroke for Marvel, and I'm going to call him Wade Wilson. And I'm going to name him Deadpool, and he's going to be a master assassin and a hand-to-hand combatant, but he's going to be a mutant too, and he's going to have healing factor, and yeah, he's going to wisecrack jokes. So we'll throw him out there. Yeah, so Deadpool is a carbon copy of Deathstroke the Terminator. Thank God he has turned into his own character from New Mutants 98 to whatever he is now, and love him or hate him, he is not an original idea. He came direct from Deathstroke the Terminator himself. Another one that I can think of, this is more of a team thing. Justice League and the Avengers. Or even if you go same company, JSA and the JLA, the Justice Society of America and the Justice League. So that's two that I can think of off the top of my head. Tony, you look like you want to disagree with that.
Well, that last one, because one of the things I was actually going to talk a little bit about on Comics 101, I'll put a pin in that and make sure I get to it for you fans out there later, is that I don't really, that very last one, the JSA and the JLA, I don't say that just because DC's and like most of their team structure is based in the same kind of, all their teams are structured the same, right? If you look at the Justice League, and I've maintained, which a lot of people, it shocks me, don't really think about, they're completely built on the pantheon of gods. They meant to represent the Greek gods, right?
Yeah,
so Superman would be Zeus, and Wonder Woman would be Hera, and Batman would be Hades, and Aquaman would be Poseidon, right? Flash would be Mercury, and Green Lantern would be Hephaestus, right? Who can forge anything. And so the Justice League are really the seven, the Greek gods, right? And every team supports that. The Titans are their junior counterparts, and Young Justice are their junior counterparts, right? The JSA are their senior counterparts, and so there's a version of Superman on the JSA, and there's a version of Wonder Woman known as her mother on the JSA. There's a version of Flash, normally Jay Garrick or Johnny Quick on the JSA, right?
Well, okay, to kind of change my thought process a little bit on that, would you consider the Justice League and the Injustice League to be copycats? The Injustice League, like Ultraman and Superwoman and those versions on Earth 3, the evil versions of the heroes?
I think they are, but I think there's a fundamental difference, which is if you go in comic company, right, then yeah, you could immediately shunt that multiverse, right?
Right.
But outside of comic company, is we're going to do this better than you, right?
God, okay.
It's kind of Marvel going, right, or DC going, yeah, right.
And that brings up Squadron Supreme.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Squadron Supreme would be the perfect, I think, copycat or plagiarism of DC's Justice League. Because they have a Superman and a Wonder Woman and a Batman and a Flash and on that team in Marvel. A lot of people don't know about the Squadron Supreme. I told you, Marvel is much more than the Avengers, people. Much more than the Avengers. So,
Sal, what do you got? Toss some names out there.
All right, I got a couple of obscure ones that I'll throw out. I think Catwoman and Black Cat, I think, are copycats. Yeah. You know, they both kind of use.
Which one do you think is best? Which one do you like better?
I'm gonna go with Black Cat.
Sal's my guy.
I like the fact that she had the bad luck powers.
Yep.
Okay.
Does she still have those?
You know what?
Or have they taken those away? And
I think they've taken them away. She's going to become more of a prime boss than antagonist with Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, which I love.
Was that?
Which I love.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So, okay, Catwoman and Black Cat. Who else you got?
So I got this one's kind of obscure, but it's going to be Rain Sinclair and Anthony Lupus. Both are werewolf characters.
You're absolutely right. I had not thought about that.
So is one of those? I'm less familiar with them too. So is one Werewolf by Night?
No, I don't think so. When I was looking up characters, because I was trying to think who's on the side that I could think of on the side that's not the big seven. You know, I didn't want to go with the big seven because those are pretty obvious to me. So I was trying to find characters that are very similar in looks and just how they, I guess, change or shapeshift.
Well, here's. Go ahead.
Okay. So I found these two, and I haven't looked too much on Anthony Lupus. He's the DC side. Rain Sinclair is obviously on the New Mutant side, and
Wolfsbane.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and I think she was a little bit on the X-Men animated series, back in the 90s.
She was
Just a
big
tiny
part
bit
of X Factor during the
Yeah,
Peter
part of
David
X Factor.
run.
But I think the impression I got, see, I don't really read her too much. So the impression I got for her is the more she fought as Wolfsbane, the more wolf she became. You know, that type of situation. And I think that was the same for Anthony Lupus, but I don't know his character name. So I'm looking into that to see if that's
Gotcha.
but from what I read, they look very similar. I was
Here,
gonna what, sorry?
Here's some more
Yeah.
copycats. The Comedian and Captain America. Let's talk about Night Owl and Batman.
Yeah.
That's same company. Let's talk about Silk Spectre and Black Widow. I think that that's more close to what it would be than Silk Spectre being somebody else, because Silk Spectre didn't have powers, neither did Black Widow. I think that those might be, that's kind of a stretch. Scratch that. But let's see who else off of Watchmen. Dr. Manhattan, I think, is more original than anything else. I don't think anybody is close to him. Sentry and Superman.
Well, I could say Dr. Manhattan from DC now very easily. Owen Reese, the Molecule Man.
I was thinking Molecule Man. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Do they have the same kind of power sets though?
Yeah, they both rearrange matter at a molecular level.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
One's a scientist and one's a idiot.
Here's speaking of scientists and idiot, the Atom from DC and Scott Lang Ant-Man from Marvel.
That was one of the ones I was going to say, and I fall squarely on the Atom side of that. I like Ray Palmer as a character much better than Hank Pym as Ant-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm on the opposite side.
No, I'm going to side with you on that, Tone. Palmer is the scientist in the DC universe, and he's only Ant-Man because the Justice League tells him he has to be, and he's like, dude, I don't want to do that. I want to stay in the white coat and go dissect this Demogorgon over here. I want to look at that. No, Palmer, we need you to go into Martian Manhunter's molecules and figure them out. All right.
And I'm going to throw out the GL Corps and the Nova Corps. That's right.
That's a great example. Right.
That's a good one.
Cops, both space cops, both have, one has a ring, one has a helmet, right? Yep. Both get cosmic powers that allow them to do all types of things. And so personally, right, I can feel Jamie staring at my assessment of this right now. I feel the pressure, Jamie, but it's not necessary. I definitely love the GL Corps way more than that. I love the Nova Corps. I want to see Marvel do more with the Nova Corps, but
yes,
and I love Richard Rider. I love Sam Rider, the kid Sam also, but I love Richard Rider as a character. But I think the GL is just so fundamental to what DC does.
Now, what do you think about Solomon Grundy and the Hulk? Do you think that that's a possibility for copycats or no?
That is possible. I hadn't considered that.
I hadn't considered that one either. That's a good one.
Because I was just thinking about that. Like Solomon Grundy came out before the Hulk did, if I remember right. Yeah.
But on that one, I hadn't even considered it. I could see it now that you say it, but I would go the Hulk all day on that.
Oh yeah.
And the same thing with Swamp Thing and Man Thing, right? I think Swamp Thing to me just trounces Man Thing as a character.
I think Man Thing debuted first, but the concept for Swamp Thing was created before Man Thing was put out on shelves. If I remember right, I'm pretty confident the concept of all of that was Swamp Thing at DC, but Marvel got Man Thing out on store shelves first.
And the last one I'm going to say, I said it earlier, but I think this one is funny. It makes me laugh. Hawkman from DC versus Angel Warren Worthington, right?
Hawkman all the way.
And Hawkman, Carter Hall as a character just trounces Warren Worthington as a character. And I love Hawkman more than I love Angel. Asterisk.
I'm waiting for it because I'm going to say the same thing.
I love Archangel more than Hawkman, right? And when Marvel kind of looked at Warren Worthington and said, he flies.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's rich.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's not a lot here. And like let's do something to spice this character up, and the Apocalypse gets his hands on him, and he births Archangel out of him. I love classic Archangel, and definitely a character I like more than Carter Hall Hawkman. I said that was the last. No, we didn't talk about the big one, Thanos and Darkseid.
Right on. We will use that as our last topic of conversation too, and what a way to end it. So, Tone, give us your thoughts on that, Thanos and Darkseid.
I think Thanos is a great villain. He's been developed into a great villain. As people love to point out, the old Thanos copter occasionally makes an appearance on the internet, and Thanos being ushered away in handcuffs by the cops, and occasionally
New York's finest.
Yeah,
Thanos copter was in an episode of Loki too. So
yeah, and so I love what Thanos has been developed into as a villain. But Darkseid I'm a Darkseid guy all the way. And when you explain to someone that Darkseid that you've seen the Justice League beat, they've never actually beat Darkseid because he's a multiversal entity. He has to manifest an avatar of himself into reality for you to interact with. I thought that's just completely badass. I go Darkseid all the way.
Sal, what do you got on that?
I'm gonna also go with Darkseid as well. Just the presence he comes off with, I think it was much better than whatever Thanos could ever come up with.
Oh yeah, I think that as much as I love Thanos, and I think I even said I was Team Thanos in the beginning, I was lying. Darkseid all the way. If you really took both of those characters, like Thanos at his peak, and Darkseid at his peak, and really put them together and let them duke it out, I think when all was said and done, Darkseid may have broken a little bit of his sweat, but when the dust clears, he's got a hold of Thanos by the collar, and it's over. Is this the best the Marvel Universe has to offer?
just for the fans out there that can't wrap your heads around this, and your MCU fans, maybe not comic fans, just think about this. Forget what you've seen in the cartoons where Superman slaps Darkseid around, push all that to the side for a second.
He allows that to happen.
For the comics, when you see Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, right, with the gems that gives him the power to wipe out half of the universe with the snap, right? He had to go get a gauntlet, get a tool to get that power. Darkseid is already that level of power.
Yeah.
Without the tool, you can't even compete with Darkseid.
No, absolutely not. Well, all right, gentlemen, this has been 2 hours of wonderful conversation and such a good time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to go eat some ramen noodles out of the microwave. Or no, Tone, you've got a recipe book. I'm coming over to your house and we're gonna cook some ramen noodles. I got the packages. We're ready to go. All right. Before we get out of here, Sal, one more time, let people know where they can find you on YouTube.
All right, thank you. It's a channel on YouTube called Sal's Comic Corner, and I basically talk about slabs and getting books prepped for slabbing and what to look for if you wanted to think about slabbing. So come take a look. Tell me what you think. Ask some questions. I'm open to anything.
Absolutely, guys. And that link is in the comment section here on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, it will be in the description. And you can also find him there on our featured channels list at the Codex Station. Tone, before we get out of here, do you have anything you want to say to our wonderful viewing audience that is watching right now?
Just to thank you all for taking the time to tune in and watch us and fellowship and share this time with us tonight. I hope you have a happy 4th of July. I hope you spend it in a spirit of celebration, not just with your family and your friends, but also in celebration of the country we live in, with all the warts, with all the ugliness, with all the challenges. And let's keep working to make America a better place. And I always tie this back to the heroes, right? These heroes aspire to be the best versions of themselves. And that's why they inspire us, and we love to read about them. And I challenge you to go out and aspire to be the best version of yourself as you engage with your family and friends. Remember, here at the Kodak Station, we love comics and we love heroes, and you are a hero.
Right on. And guys, you know what I'm going to close this out with. Don't forget to find us on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, podcast streaming platforms. All you got to do is type in the Kodak Station, and that is where you will find us. So once again, don't forget, we have merchandise. Sal, you're wearing some of that right now.
Yep.
Take a look at that.
Merch.
The link is in the chat right now, Teespring. All you got to do is click on that and go there, and it will also be in the description on the YouTube version of this also. Once again, guys, my name is Tim. Down below is Tone Super, the Sci-Fi Swordsman. The guy on either side of my fingers is Sal Rowe. This is Codex After Dark. Jamie, we'll see you in 2 weeks. And this is the Codex Station. We'll see you all next time.
Amazing power.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
When Captain America throws his shield.
There it is, Sal saying I got it. I didn't stop the stream yet. We're good to go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Peace.
Enjoy your 4th of July.
Enjoy.